Introduction. Before you envy someone's success, before you admire their spotlight, their fame, their beauty, their confidence, ask yourself one question. What did they survive to become who they are? Because behind every shining star, there is a shadow. And sometimes that shadow is made of childhood wounds, secret tears, and silent battles. Rosalía's voice shakes stadiums today, but it was shaped first in loneliness. Her confidence looks unbreakable, but it was built from broken pieces. This is not a celebrity story. This is a motivational and inspirational story about a young girl who carried pain, rejection, and fear, yet turned all of it into power. And if you are walking through hardship, if people laugh at your dreams, if life feels heavy, then what you are about to read is not just an English story for learning English. It is a reminder. You rise not despite the pain, you rise because of it. Chapter 1. The small town that couldn't hold her. Before she became a global star. Before she became an inspirational story of a successful person, Rosalía was simply a little girl in Sant Esteve Sesrovires, a quiet town where people believed in safe dreams, not big dreams. At 10 years old, she said softly to her mother, "Mama, I feel music living inside me. I don't want an ordinary life." Her mother sighed, touched her cheek, and whispered, "Music is beautiful, hija. But life is not always kind to dreamers." School wasn't kind, not at all. When Rosalía sang in class, some kids giggled. One boy smirked and said, "Your voice sounds weird. Why don't you sing like normal people?" She pretended not to care, walked home quietly. But that night she cried into her pillow. Her voice trembled as she whispered, "One day, you will remember these words." Her older sister heard her sobbing. She sat down beside her and said, "If you want the world to listen, then train until the world has no choice." Those words entered Rosalía's soul like fire. She started listening to flamenco legends. She spent hours locked in her bedroom practicing. Her mother would knock and ask, "Hija, are you okay? You've been singing for 5 hours." Rosalía would simply reply, "Mama, I'm learning how to breathe." Flamenco is not a genre. It's a heartbeat, a cry, a storm. People saw a strange girl with a strange voice, but deep inside her, something else was growing. A hurricane, a hunger, a determination that would one day turn her into one of the most inspirational stories in English. Even though she was young, she already carried one truth. Being different is not a weakness. It is the beginning of greatness. Chapter 2. When life hits, dreamers bleed. At 16, Rosalía's life broke apart. Her father, the pillar of comfort in her world, fell seriously ill and had to leave the family home. A deep silence entered the house. Bills grew. Money evaporated. Her mother worked endlessly with trembling hands. Rosalía touched her shoulder and whispered, "Mama, I will help you. I promise." Her mother didn't even look up. She just muttered, "Dreams don't pay bills, Rosalía." But Rosalía lifted her chin and replied softly, "One day, they will." So she worked. She cleaned restaurants, sang in tiny bars where no one listened, did background vocals that never got credited. And every night she practiced until her voice cracked. This is why motivational and inspirational stories matter, because dreams are not magic. They are sacrifice, pain, and discipline. She auditioned for a big talent show. She walked in with hope. She walked out with humiliation. A judge waved his hand and said, "Stop, your voice is strange." Come back when you're normal. Normal. The word hit harder than rejection. That night, she broke. She cried in the dark and whispered, "Why can't they hear what I feel? Why am I not enough?" But then, something unusual happened. Her tears turned into fire. She stood before the mirror and said, "I will return, not for them, but for my destiny." This moment is why this remains one of the most motivational real-life stories. Because real fighters are not created in victory. They are created in rejection. Pain didn't push her away from music. Pain pushed her deeper into it. She wasn't singing anymore. She was surviving. Chapter 3. The Flamenco Warrior. Flamenco became her weapon, her medicine, her oxygen. She met a mentor who told her, "Flamenco is not about technique. It is about truth. If you want to be great, you must bleed for it." And Rosalía did exactly that. She practiced until her throat burned, until her voice became raw, until her emotions became sharp enough to cut glass. She studied the masters. She learned the secrets of breath, rhythm, expression. She stood in front of mirrors for hours, training every gesture, every movement, every silence. Flamenco demanded pain, so she gave it pain. But life didn't become easier. She faced relationships that looked perfect from the outside, but felt like storms on the inside. She faced critics who said she was too modern, too strange, not traditional enough. Yet she always replied with one sentence, "If I cannot evolve, I die." Her voice began to carry something new, something ancient and powerful, something born from heartbreak and hope. Every rejection became a lesson. Every criticism became fuel. Every silent night became a chapter in her destiny. Little did she know, she was slowly becoming a global motivational and inspirational story, a living example of how pain can create power. She wasn't just learning flamenco, she was learning herself. Chapter 4. The risk that could destroy her, or rebirth her. After years of discipline, heartbreak, and transformation, Rosalía felt something inside her shift. The world knew her as a flamenco artist, but Rosalía felt a thunderstorm inside her, a need to evolve, to break rules, to rebel. She told her team, "I don't want to stay in the same box. I want to create something the world has never heard." Her team hesitated. "Rosalía, the world loves your flamenco style. If you change now, you might lose everything." She answered softly, "Art is not a prison." So she changed her sound. She changed her appearance. She changed her entire artistic identity. People mocked her. Fans got angry. Critics said she was ruining flamenco. Some said she was too experimental, and others said she was selling out. But Rosalía didn't listen. She was creating Motomami, not just an album, but a rebirth, a revolution, a wild, fearless, untamed expression of everything she had survived. When the album released, it exploded across the world. Suddenly, the girl who was once ignored became the woman the world celebrated. Journalists asked her, "What kept you going when everything was breaking?" She smiled gently and said, "When life hurts you, you only have two choices: break or become unbreakable. I chose unbreakable." Chapter 5. The world finally listens. Now the world listened, not just to her music, but to her message. She performed for massive audiences. She collaborated with global artists. She won awards, hearts, and respect. But behind every performance, there were memories of her mother washing dishes, of her father's absence, of those who mocked her voice, of the judges who called her strange. Every moment on stage was a promise to her younger self. You were right to believe. Millions of English learners discovered her songs and used them to learn English through stories, music, and emotion. Her journey became one of the most inspirational stories in English, shared in classrooms, motivational videos, and English learning podcasts. She wasn't just a singer. She was a symbol that dreamers win, but only if they refuse to surrender. Chapter 6. What pain taught her. People often asked Rosalía, "What is the real source of your power?" She always answered with the same truth: pain. Pain taught her discipline. Pain taught her courage. Pain taught her to fight even when the world laughed. She said, "My voice became strong because my life became hard." This is why her story is so powerful for English learners searching for motivational and inspirational stories. Because she shows you that you don't need a perfect life. You don't need a rich background. You don't need a natural talent. You only need courage and consistency. Pain did not break her. It shaped her. It sharpened her. It crowned her. Chapter 7. Her lesson to you. A motivational, real-life message. Rosalía's life gives us lessons stronger than any classroom. She teaches you that, 1. Being different is a gift. People mocked her voice. Now, millions copy it, 2. Rejection is a doorway. The judges said she was strange. Now the world calls her a genius. Discipline beats talent. She practiced until her voice bled. She sacrificed sleep, comfort, relationships. Pain is not the end. It is the beginning. Every heartbreak became a new sound. Every struggle became a new strength. Your story matters, even if no one listens yet, even if no one believes yet. This is why her journey is one of the most interesting motivational stories for beginners who want to learn English by listening to stories. Because when you learn English through story, you are not only learning language, you are learning life. Final chapter. Say this out loud. A closing motivational message for viewers. If you feel lost, if people laugh at your dreams, if life feels heavy, then remember Rosalía, the girl who was told she was strange, the girl who cried in silence, the girl who worked in small restaurants, the girl who practiced until her voice broke. And still, she rose. Say this with me. My pain will not destroy me. My voice will rise. My story is not over. Because every Rosalía starts as a nobody. Every legend begins in silence. Every fighter is born when life tries to break them. And one day, people will look at you and say, "This is a motivational and inspirational story."